Now I'll come back home. Now make we talk about one of the most important topics we fit get for any programming language. Arrays. Arrays now one of the ways where we say you fit dey access different elements, you fit dey manipulate things for inside your JavaScript code easily. Now, if you understand array, you go fit do a lot more than most developers wey just dey do design and all those things. So the idea behind the whole array thing, now say if you get different variables and you want group all of them together, now how you want to do am? At that time where array will come into play. Because array fit store anything. It's just a list of anything with commas. So you fit store number, comma, name, comma, user, comma, phone, comma, car, comma, house, comma. You fit see add more arrays inside that array. Meaning say array fit get array, we get array, we get array. All right. So I don't even make this array index or HTML for us. It's just the link where they link our array file for here, our main.js file. We could just use them to run our examples. So if we say we want to create an array, we don't already do that for the data type session for our series. So I could just say const, and I could just say I want to call this array my R, right? That's my array. And then make we assign them to values. So which values we want to add? Remember, say to create the array, we just need to put that angle bracket for there. Once you put them, you gonna know say na array we dey try make. So make we say the array we want make it get numbers for this particular array. So we'll just say we want 200, make we say 450, and then make we say 399, make we say another one, then make we say 6932 and 44. Make we write another value also, make we say 0.5, and then make we write -5 as another value, or make we make an 8 for now. So if we write them like this, you see say I just pack numbers. Even though I add this -8 for here, and I add this decimal floating number for here, where we get for here, this 0.5, not to mean that's the array. So if I say I want access this array, we already do this before, remember? Make I say we want test this array. So make I just console log out my array, right? So now this is all these values where they here, 9 they get, right? But what if I want get the first one? At that time, we go come use the bracket notation to the access the array. So I can just say bracket, and inside this bracket where we get, so I'll come give them a number. Which number I want give them? The number one I want give them like the index of that particular value where we define. Then at the position of the value. Index just means say now the position where something they inside an array. So if we check them, because we know the number one rule of every array for this JavaScript, so we know say it is start from index 0. So we're going to say now 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So if we say we define the first item, which now this 200, we go say we define index 0. Now, once we do that 0, you see say we don't get the value for here. So that now the first item. Now so we take get the first item for inside our array, which now 200. Likewise, if we say okay, we want make it just be 1, you go see say we don't get the index 1, which now 450. If we say we want the waiting day index 2, you go see say we get the next number 399. But what if we want to get the last item for inside this our array? Let's say we get many numbers, we get 2 million, and we don't know which one be the last item for the array. So for inside any array, what we gonna need to do be say we could just say we want to do my r dot length. And now this length now it give us the whole length of the array, the total amount. Then we can say -1. So this one now, what we just do be say if we want find for inside this array of my array or my r, we want find the length or the total length of the whole my r. So it could tell us say okay, the whole length, whatever it is, it could tell us. Even if we don't know, it could see shall find out. Once the computer find out for us, then we could say we want them -1. So once we do that -1 like this, it will find the last value of everything where they here. Like I say, we want just create another variable for here as result, or we go say last. So we go say const last item, and then I go just assign them to a variable. So which variable we define? We try promote this one, and then make we just paste them there as the answer. So whenever we console log last item, this item is not spelled correctly. So make we put that capital I for there, because na camel case we use. And then make we put that other I for there. So because na camel case, it go still work, but it will be good practice to leave our code like that. If we change something to make them work so that other people go understand our code, make we do it like that. So if I change that value there, you can see say now we get last value for there or last item. So if I say make I increase this number for here, and I say make we change this last item to 245, you go see say it dey give us now 245. Any value where we put for here as the last value, it goes give us as that value. So always keep that in mind. Say now, so we fit get the last item. So make I save them. And likewise, if you want to make the first, if you want to find the first item, you go just dey do 0. So if you just say make we create const, and make we just say first item, I'm spelling well today. Make we say now my R, and this my R, we could just say make we assign them to 0. So whatever this one be, it will always be the first item. So if we say we want console log, we want the first item. If you say anything will be the first item, because you say this 55 now, it will be our first item, no more 200. One of the ways where we say they always work with arrays. Now say they always pop something, or we always push something inside. So make we say we want pop something come out from our array, and want they push something into our array. How we go take do them? Well, pop and push now just way to they deal with this last index, that are this last item for inside this our array where we get for here, this 953 where we get for here. So if I say I want to find the last value for there, as we do this small find last for here, now so we go also still do the pop. So the pop, it they return us the value we don't pop. So if we say we want myr.pop, I go see say if I call them as a method and then we close them, next, make we just assign them to a variable so that we go fit log the value out. So we just say const res, and this res we go just assign them. Whenever we console log this value, so we can say console log res, you go see say we dey get the exact answer as this last item. So if I say this last, now instead of writing this code like this every time, I fit just clean am, say last code, make it just be last item, make it just be this res. And you go see always give me that last value for the array. Make we try. So if I say make I clean this last one now and make am just leave this one here, if you say now we dey get res as the last item also for inside our array. So how else we fit do? We want push. So I go just say myr dot push. And what we want push? Well, we want push a new number inside, right? So we go say the number one we want push now 985. And then now make I just come out these two so that we know they confused. Make we assign them to res. Now if I assign them to res, come out this semicolon and then CLG, and then I say make I console log myr, which now the new array. You go see say make I clean these values up a bit. So I could just come out them up to here, for example. And if I save them, if you say now, even though we get this one as the last, this 8,573 as the last value, you see say now we they pop something into, we they push 985 into this array. So now we don't they push values into our array for here. As we get this pop and push, we also get the shift. So shift now, of course, for the opposite. So shift go just they work for this side. And then you can save it like this. And if I say make I console.log instead of push, I'll say shift. Remember, say the variable we get for here. So if I clean this one now, you can see say we get 55, right? But if I uncomment them, you can see say it don't come out the value from here. It don't shift down here. But if I say I want to unshift, you can see say the value they there. But what I want unshift, I need add them. So what I want unshift now, make we say 600. And if I put 600, you will see say 600 don't they add to my new array. Make we say we want to find the length for here. So if I could just say myr.length, this is now another method. And I say instead CLG. So if I say the length for here now 9, then for this side before the code reach here. So if I say okay, make I console.log the length again after the push, you will see say we don't add 1 to the end. That means saying at 4, and that means saying at 10, sorry. And then after that one, if I say, okay, now make I add another console log here again, you see say now 11. Why? Because for the beginning, we don't after this unshift, we add the 600, which you see for here, into this new array from the bottom here, now new array. So you get many methods where JavaScript they give us through arrays, and those methods it is very helpful. Make we they use those methods to they manipulate our array. So, but for now, that's all we need to learn. I will see you now for the next video. Thank you.